This is Marie Roselle. I'm a student at Grand Canyon University in the Master of Science in Nursing Education program. What you're seeing is a video of an assignment for nursing education, NUR 649E Lynn Kane instructor. The purpose of this assignment was to explore an issue in distance education and propose strategies to resolve the issue. I decided to choose for my topic the development of technological proficiency in distance education nursing faculty. One of the reasons I chose this was because I feel myself a great need as an educator in the field of nursing to understand better how to use technology in order to engage the students that I have currently and in the future. I had a lot of fun trying to figure out how to take a written assignment and turn it into a video broadcast. Just kind of parenthetically here as an anecdotal sidebar, I first used my iPad, found out the quality of the video was kind of grainy. I had the fun experience of setting up a YouTube account in order to be able to post the video. And I finally decided to just go ahead and use my cell phone, which ended up having a far better camera, much to my surprise, than my iPad. So it has been a learning experience for me. Took me lots and lots of time and trials of various methods in order to get a better quality product. So the title of my paper then is Developing Technology Proficiency in Distance Education Faculty. I'm going to describe the issue for you, and I'll begin by saying that many nurses who want to either come back for their education to get a BSN or possibly graduate students are going to be looking to distance education because it provides a lot of flexibility. So many of us who are adults and have been RNs have families, maybe we have parents we're taking care of, we have work, and then just our many facets of our lives. And to be able to pursue education in an online community is therefore very attractive and a great asset so that we can continue our work, family, and other lives at the same time that we're pursuing graduate education. And so whether it be undergraduate or graduate, distance education is very much the wave of the future, not only for nursing, but also for other disciplines. So we find that distance education sometimes uses maybe an online format, like the class that I'm currently enrolled in at Grand Canyon University, or perhaps synchronous or asynchronous, maybe a hybrid format. Perhaps it's real-time interaction with professor or with fellow classmates, or perhaps there's discussion boards that one can access at one's leisure as it fits into lifestyle. What I discovered in my research was that there's a high student attrition rate for these various distance learning applications of education, partly because either of a lack of understanding of how to use the technology, a dissatisfaction when the technology fails, or perhaps a little bit of both. Maybe the student wants more community and finds that the online or the distance venue just doesn't allow for that. So as nursing instructors for an online or a distance learning venue, we need to become very proficient in use of the technology available out there in society, as well as the technology that's being used in healthcare currently. As educators, we may be a little bit, no pun intended, distanced from the technology that's being used perhaps in the clinical site or setting because we are so enmeshed in research or in education and pedagogy and a little bit farther removed from what the physicians and nurses in practice